Brides in the Hills. 22. Gutty Mathy, who had known from birth that he would never be welcomed or admitted there, either sitting on the carpet or on the blackened and dirty bench in the corner, quickly slipped into the backyard holding his nose at Sandy. There was such a stench of excrement. A hayloft in the backyard was a cattle shed. It had no wall. A fence-like embankment was made by tying bamboo poles from pole to pole. There were a couple of poor cattle and a healthy buffalo. Gutty's eyes suddenly saw the light that was so full of the barn. He saw. Its hay was blown away. The hay that had been blown was scattered all over the place. Thinking that the effect of the last night's rains had taken its toll not only on Simbavijatharagudalakandas but also on Megaravali, he coughed a couple of times to signal his arrival. As a result, the door opening to the backyard began to shake noisily. Kiro moved back as Vada Badar. Anthaka's daughter Kaveri looked out as a white hand wearing a bangle lifted the door with great effort and pushed and shook it. See, recognize, smile, this, Gutty, where did you come from, old house or Betterly? She asked the old woman cutely. And, shorter than she was, white, as strong as Jati, she regarded Holia with admiring eyes. Kaveri did not see any objection in doing so, being a Holian. What's wrong with looking at another sprightly male animal that doesn't belong to its category, a lovely bird, an iconic spotted hen, and a richly handsome bull? Although he was a man of vague color, not only his own caste, but also his own caste, he was the last of the lowest caste, so he looked admiringly at the horned beauty of the youth. The boldness of saying that even a hint of humane male-female relationship between her and him was utterly improbable, unnatural against nature, was an unabashed defense of her appearance. With the same bravery, Holianu looked at the beauty of Setara's woman and said, I came from Simbavi. I stayed there when it rained at night. I gave a paper to the old house. It is our Hegadari. Whose Hatran Patanga did you wear? A female voice came softly from within. In Chulu language, Kaveri shouted in Kannada, that dog has come, that's it, Simbavi dog, turning to Gutty, yes. Where has your tiger gone? She asked and laughed out loud. If that's all there is to it, Tanaka Bala smiled and didn't see that there was a small dog. Just sat there. While Gutty was still talking, in the corner of the yard near the corner of the barn, in the large pile of ashes lying at the foot of the log tree, a white-colored moose dog, lying like an ash book with the ashes, was hiding in the jig that had been placed on top of the wood on the log, howling Kanyanyo Kanyanyo, wet the whole yard. Gutty sees, tiger. When he slept, he was panting and stretching out his ears, so he looked for him, grabbed his ear, and knew that he must have been running from Lakanda. He said, hold, did you break our dog? Kaveri warned that. No Kano, the girl is not broken. Gutty called the tiger close and started scratching his head. What's that commotion? She scolded her daughter as she came out saying that it is not good for an old woman to talk to Holia for such a long time when no one is with her. When she came to this, she looked for a moment to see if there was any gift in Gutty's hand, but she was disappointed but did not show it and asked Mbavi Hegedi about their well-being. After saying that, he looked at the barn and smiled meaningfully while saying, Bandamaraya will be so helpful if you call him at the right time. Ah barn. Do you want to say that the contract is all set? I gave it in an agreement. But now I have to lock the old house Hegederi, and from there I have to go to Betterly. He bent his neck to draw Antaka's attention to the special dress he had put on while going to Nantara's house. How can he work as a weeder while he is in Darabasta? Yesterday Betterly was very angry with Cannon who had come to Dodbeer. The lease threw hot water on me. The house, the yard, the barn, the dog, the chicken, which had been reduced to the level of neutral boredom, suddenly became bright objects of curiosity. Breathing a little loudly, he asked, why did you come? What did you say? As if you were listening to his daughter, your elders are standing behind you and humming. What about them? 23 will continue.